So
Okay.
we will discuss
Fine.
here all the doubts
We have got number two.
which you have.
Now I can visit again. No, I can visit again, right?
Yeah, no, not here. You can visit again. You can see, but you cannot attempt it again.
No, not attempt, but what answers were wrong and where confusion I have got, so I can come for clarity, right?
Yeah. That is there. That is, you can always
Again,
revisit
so
with your answers and what are the
but no,
explanation.
next session, I mean next Friday, next Saturday, sorry,
Yeah.
I'll attempt another couple of those quizzes, and I'll come with whatever confusions or maybe wherever I'm making mistakes, I mean, maybe wherever I have got any kind of unclear area. Then I
Right.
need to focus.
The idea is
I'll come with that.
to bring your doubts here, and we will discuss those outs here and clarify them, so that
Yeah,
concepts
sure.
are clear.
Very sure. Okay, these charters and scope management we have sent.
Yeah.
That they.
I will discuss this. I will discuss this. First, let me
Today
take
on
from all the
agenda.
people that have they tried out some quizzes and they have any doubts.
Okay. I don't know about other people.
Let's check with others.
Yeah.
What about others? What about Lalit, you?
Yeah, I tried one, and I got 16 right out of 30. So yeah, there are some doubts which I was listening to your and Ajay's conversation. This is that we were discussing very rightly that we need to discuss once we go through the quiz, and whatever the doubts are there, we need to discuss so that the doubts get cleared. So that is what I will start jotting down from the next quiz, so that whatever that's the right idea.
That is the purpose. Actually, what we used to do earlier in the 9-hour session or in the physical classroom, we do this question in the classroom. But because time is limit, we do only 15 questions. Now here, because we have time and I have given 1 hour for that, so you have to use full 1 hour, because every quiz you attempt, it add 1 hour in your 35 hours. If you see the sessions, total session hours, they are only 24. 12 questions, 12 quizzes make it 36 hours. So if you will not attempt any quiz, you are not going to get any certificate.
And we will be losing out on our hours also. That's correct.
Sorry?
And we will be losing out of number of hours also if you are not attempting the quizzes. So attempting quizzes is of paramount importance.
Yeah, see what I said. What I'm saying that I have kept 1 hour for this quiz, and you should use full 1 hour. And the purpose is that for attempting 30 questions, you're supposed to take 35 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes actually, ideally. And plus we have kept that you will refer some handouts, you will refer some books, plus you will verify your answers, plus you will try to learn with the explanations. All this include will make you more than 1 hour to spend on this quiz. Yeah, right now it is an open book exam. The purpose is not to test yourself. You even do not try to test yourself. This is not the idea. Idea is to learn concept, understand concepts. So out of 30 questions, you will see 8 to 10 questions are like that. They will make you to think, what should I check? What should I pick?
Overall, it was very great experience. We can definitely learn if we attempt this quiz. Definitely, we are going to learn lot many things which are kept somewhere in corner. They are there, but we ignored while reading. But they are very important. We could identify.
This is very important because this is the place where you actual learning happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I am explaining you, that is you listening. Actual learning doesn't happen at that time. Actual learning happens when you attempt these quizzes and discuss your doubts. That is the place where the actual learning happens. So if you do not bring your doubts here, then it is not the very great learning exercise. Then this workshop.
Okay.
In fact, in every workshop or every program, it is the discussion which make people learn. It's not like a trainer giving presentation. That is like if you grab 20% of what trainer is saying to you, I think you are a winner in a presentation.
Yeah. Right.
The rest 80% happen when we discuss on those points.
How many such kind of quizzes are going to happen during your entire
Every chapter
workshop?
has a quiz.
Okay, every chapter will have one. Okay.
Yeah, the 13 chapters, 13 quiz. 13 chapters, so there are 12 quizzes actually.
12. So far I am 3 are there. So we have 9 to
So
do.
every week you will get 3 to 4 quizzes.
That is going to give us a very good learning. That's fine.
Yeah. So attempt this and keep writing your on a paper. Keep writing your what the questions you are, or even just note down the question number. Just note down the question number. Okay, this question I want to discuss. This quiz.
Yeah,
This
like
question, that's all.
what learning experience we have got. Project management.
So we have all the questions here. I will open the site here and we'll go to that question and we'll discuss those questions.
Sure.
So you need not to write even the things on the paper. Just note down the questions you want to discuss. That's all.
Yeah.
So what about Gaurav with you?
Hi, Vivek. I had attempted all 3 sessions, 3 questions, and I got like one is 17 and one is 18 and one is 21.
Oh, fantastic. Any doubt to clarify here? Or you want to discuss any question?
No, whatever I did wrong, so I read that explanation and I got it to know why I got the wrong, and few of the questions which I wrong with the confuser with the two answers, and few of them which I reviewed and get it clarified, so it's fine.
Okay. Bhagesh, what about you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I could not attempt exam. I have planned it to give it tomorrow. Last 4 or 5 days I was busy in training, so I could not. I was a trainer.
Okay.
So preparing something and then offering training it took me a long time. So
sure.
Tomorrow I will attempt exams, and but I have gone through the slides, so I thought that I could prepare first, just going through slides, and then I will attempt. So tomorrow is the date I have planned for to attempt the exam.
Fine. So whatever you find that these questions to be discussed, you note down those questions, and then you can open that quiz here and discuss all those questions here.
Yes, I'm part of that discussion, and it is a great strategy to learn. One thing is clear, that once we discuss anything, we'll remember for a long time.
Absolutely.
Only listening is not a very good way, and just answering is also. So discussion would really help us to remember things for a long time.
Absolutely.
So,
in fact, listening is a very ineffective way of learning.
Yes.
If you have a full stomach, you will sleep.
Correct. It should be interactive. So I'm in with this strategy, and yes, we'll follow that same strategy. whichever the doubtful questions are there, we'll note down the numbers. On this platform, we'll discuss with you and other team members so that we'll get a very good solution with brainstorming.
That's right. Okay, so let me open your responses. So I will discuss your responses here, and I will also bring some other response which we have got in past to understand that how it should be if some point is not like appropriate, or what could be a better response. So let's look at. I will go in the same sequence. I have got these responses. So let's take first from Bhagesh. See, if you look at the objectives, as I explained, the objectives need things which can be measured. So if I say new client base, student, youth, we want to target that is fine. But how we understand that this objective or this project was a success? How we say that we have achieved the objective? Suppose some youth or students have bought this, some old person has bought it, but majority is student and youth. Can we say that we have got a success? So there should be some concrete figures here, like
Right.
Looking at the current broad base, that okay, currently we have about, suppose some days in the young people there is a reach of 5 lakhs people. So our new mobile phone should make this to 7 lakh or 6 lakhs, whatever. Our base should increase from 5 lakhs to 6 lakh or 7 lakhs, something like that. Right? So that will help us. If we reach to 7 lakh, we can say that okay, we have achieved our objective. We reach to 6.5, we can say we have achieved, but we partially achieved a degree of objective, whatever we said. So like if you say high volume, what is high actually? For you high is different, for me high is different. Improve profit margin. Suppose 10% increases. Now it is I do not consider it as improvement. You may be considering it as a good improvement.
Yeah. Quantification is missing in the objective.
Quantification is missing. So we should, the objective should be always quantifiable and measurable, which you can measure and say
measurable.
False that this is achieved or this is not achieved, or you can give a degree of achievement.
Okay.
Let's come to the project description. What you have written is fine, but it is more about that a little giving some context and telling that okay, this is what the mobile phone is, this is the audience we are targeting, and this is what we want to achieve. A summary of what is there in the whole in the complete I will say in the charter. So the person or anybody you give it to somebody, he can read and understand that what, from where the person is coming and where the person wants to go, who has written this charter. So let's say a project description, I will say we are talking about a smartphone kind of thing. We say we are targeting a young students or the young people. So we can give a context that India is a young country. The 50% population is, or 25% population is under 35 or so, or 30. Okay, that is, and we have current reach of like only 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore, and there is a considerable chances to increase this reach if we target this particular range. So this is giving an idea that from where the person is coming and why this project is coming into picture. And then we talk about that in the product, we want to launch a product which this type of audience or the young people or students should like. And looking at their nature, we should also talk about that what they maybe look for. Some features, some critical features could be important for the student. Like easy to SMS, the students use a lot of SMS because in the college they have to keep their ring low actually, or keep the phone in the vibration or silent mode. Okay, but they still have to use it. So they use a lot of text. So that making texting easy could be one of the critical success factor, because if that is not there, student will not buy it. It should be attractive. The people are normally, the young people are normally like attracted by the good-looking design, a dashing design kind of thing. You see a Pulsar, a motorcycle Pulsar. Pulsar is very popular in young people because of its design. Main thing is behind that is design. Its aggressive design actually make people to buy a Pulsar and keep it, actually purchase it. It's possession. So some critical things which can be described here, that these are the things which actually attract students, and if we have these kind of things in our mobile phone, then this will be a success. A business case, I think most of the business case I have explained actually here. So that can also come here.
Yes.
Maybe there the description is little bigger, giving more understanding that a small part of business case come, but that business case actually can be described here in the business case. That why we are launching this mobile. 25% population is under 30, means if we are talking about 20 crore people, 25 crore people, and our reach is 4 crore people. There is a significant room for improvement. There is significant room to achieve to grab this market. Our total market has only grabbed up to 10 crores of people, 10 crores young people. 10 crores are still to be grabbed, and there is a good place where we have to launch this. That is causing that is called market demand. Market is such that demanding that okay, you bring it. If you launch in this area, you will grab the market. Project scope. So scope, there are 2-3 things I will say, that design, manufacturing, assembly, distribution, this is fine. But we also talk about that what are those critical features which are important for us. That if you do everything but texting is difficult, then do you think that the project will be success? So in the scope we should define, because see, this is a charter. We define only a very high level thing. High level thing means those things which are critical to success. So we should, when we say young people, we should identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 features of the mobile phone which are essential to grab this market. Give me a moment. You're getting my point?
Yeah.
Because this charter is basically very few things you can write. with the charter, and it should give guidance to the person that actually what the management is trying to achieve out of this.
Absolutely.
Why this exercise we are thinking of. So in scope, there should be something which should be very critical to us. When we define, see, design, manufacturing, assembly, this we can define this as a statement. This is where the things are more detailed. Right? Now it is a high level deliverable.
Right.
It looks too fine to me myself. Schedule. Or you have copy pasted the thing. See, milestone is something critical place. We need not to write every activity or things here. Like coding cannot be a milestone kind of thing. And even if you see, this is a charter. The charter we are telling you it should be 1 page or maximum 2 page. So you can say requirement should be finished by this date. Design should be finished by this date.
Okay.
Okay, construction of the electronic part should be complete by this date, or the mobile phone or the first testing should be ready by this date. That's important events. Milestones are important event only. So only important events.
Okay.
4 or 5 important events during the project cycle we can write and give some dates to them. Okay, this is the dates which we are expecting that these things should happen. The reason is that if those things are not side requirement, you say 1 month down the line. So 1 month down the line, if this is not achieved 1 month down the line, it gives us signal that there is something wrong. We need to fix it. Otherwise, we will not going to meet our 6-month date. That's the idea of my.
Okay.
So not the complete WBS we need to write here. Stakeholders, known from PCS, shareholder, customer. No, customer is fine, but actually customer, instead of customer, I will say it should be more user in there. Or customer means the person who is going to use the mobile phone.
Use that, yes.
Right. So what are those requirements of the user? So you define user. Maybe user you can define in 2-3 manners. If from 15 to 20 years, 20 to 25 years, 25 to 30. If you want to go in detail, otherwise you can write a couple of things which are important to that stakeholder. You can define what is important.
Okay.
Define something like you are saying brand name and profit. So profit could be brand. I don't know brand name how much share. Maybe shareholder may be interested in brand name. So we need to keep our brand intact. That is important. It shouldn't happen that mobile phone goes into the market and it reduces the brand value. Reputation is important. That could be important for CEO and MD also. So when we say customer, I think we should define some concrete features. And good product and service. Actually, good is vast. Good is something which is not definable, right? We should prevent us using good, better, or something like that. These kind of words we should prevent us using. At least in the scope, in the charter, in the scope, we should not write these. High level risk, pricing strategy in constitution risk confusion, benchmarking, production, features and pricing for available product, item by improvement in manufacturing. So I think 2-3 risks you have combined together. So this is a quick copyright of the technology, right? Patent. Yeah, I think it is Bhagesh only. I think the background noise is there. Right, let me open your statement also, scope statement. So because similar things will be here also. Design and develop a smart for a student and young professional to age of 10 to 20 years. Now the age is 10 is when the person is just entering into teen, actually not a young. The phone shall have to, in fact it should be something like 15 to 30 or something 20 to 30 kind of things. Phone should have features like fast internet, high storage. So these are the things actually which we should mention. There could in some of these could be critical actually. The low price could be critical actually. No student from where they will get the money, and definitely parents will not be interested in buying a high cost mobile for their children. This would be critical. Large screen could be attractive, could be a point to sale. Group discussion could be important. You can able to make group like in WhatsApp kind of thing. Gaming, education. This is one of the important things. These things could be like the education app is there, and you can provide such kind of facility. I think even the college will love to have this mobile phone who normally still. Application APIs especially support the young professionals. So this can be written in the critical features actually, because this could be our selling points. Sometimes even one feature is enough to like flourish in the market. Now, if you see business objective and executive summary, do they match? They should have the same background. They should, our business objective should also focus on this, and also like we discussed, they should be quantifiable. Requirement for product design, hardware, software testing of this. I think some critical features should also be part of the scope, because they will make or break. After sales service is not your part. Probably manufacturing is also not your part of it. We want to launch the
yes.
We do not want to manufacture it. Manufacturing may be some other unit.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. I think completion criteria also be quantifiable.
Mm-hmm.
It should also be quantifiable. Should be able to crystal clear say that your product can be accepted. Like say you are the part of the design team, and there is a manufacturing team. Who will vet your product?
Yeah.
Manufacturing team.
Yes.
Manufacturing team should be in the position to accept the thing based on this criteria.
Okay.
So if they accept the product, then the project will complete. Otherwise, the project will not complete, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Assumption all deliverable match delivery time means these deliverables, which is this project deliverables, or you are expecting some deliverables?
Expecting deliverables from
Other parties,
the other functions
like parts,
Yeah.
etc.
Correct. Suppliers and cross-functional activities.
Raw material, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. No such phone will launch till this. In fact, I will say this assumption is fine, but this is more a marketing assumption than actually design team assumption.
Absolutely right.
Right? Because marketing, it will impact the overall phone, and definitely it will impact the design team as well. Because the objectives are same.
Yes.
for all market.
Yeah.
So it's not absolutely wrong, but it is more to the marketing than actually design. So we can put some design assumption, design related assumptions.
Okay.
Like first one,
Okay.
we need some parts. Technical write-up, application in terms, product manual, it's different language translation. Okay. But this is a part of strategy. Is this a constraint we can get, like,
Yeah.
or there is a problem in getting translators? Then we can write that it would be difficult to get the people translators. So we need this become a constraint for us in translating. Maybe probably
Yeah.
this become a risk actually.
Yes.
Constraints are something which limit your capability actually. It will not doesn't allow you to use your full potential.
Okay.
This is fine. This is the milestone plan actually. So design document by this date, hardware components, maybe this is something like that. This is milestone. This is fine.
Okay.
All right. Let us open some other which I have sent charter. Release new phone in 6 months for young age users 15 to 30. I think this is much better because it shows that 50% market share. So this will decide that our things are successful or not.
In crux, I put it like in short, that what is the objective? I mean,
Yeah, something quantifiable which we should be putting here. Fast producing hardware vendor, application production plant. But this I didn't get. What is this?
project description in the sense, in short, I put fast producing vendors rather than spares suppliers, or maybe we will be outsourcing to get the things done, because in house everything we cannot finish it in 6 months. That's what I assume. So I mean, fast producing hardware vendors, so they should match our timelines. That is number one. We have to manage that thing also in the project, and so we have to identify vendors. That is a part of that project which I put. Then software team and proper allocation, resource allocation and all that, and production plans and the production targets they should meet.
I think you see from your marketing eye actually. The idea here is that to give, like I just explained that in the last, that the idea is to give an understanding to the person to whom this charter will go, that from where I come from, why we are starting this, and what we are going to achieve out of it, and that we are writing in a paragraph, which give an idea to the person that what we are trying to achieve.
Okay.
Before launching the computer ABC, we need to launch the model with all the features, attracting target demographic, and this 50% of market share in the early launching good. So actually this is fine, but I think there are two things here. One is the mobile phone, other is there is a need of urgency. So this is a business case for need for urgency, that we should launch this within 6 months. We should not delay it. But this is not a business case.
Purpose also I added purpose of launching. Why 6 months? So I added that thing also.
Yeah, correct. So this is a valid business case for launching within 6 months, and if you delay, then we are going to lose this. But there should be a business case behind mobile phone also. Why we are launching this mobile phone?
Okay, fine. And what I put, before the competitor launches, I'm going to I'm going to launch and sell at my price. So I'll keep maximum bottom line. Once competitor launches, then I'll sell it at lower price. So price will be USP for me. That's what
I agree with you. But this will all happen when the stakeholder or the users will buy, and users will buy when they have those critical features they are looking for.
Yeah. So that will come in assumptions and all. Project scope was something which I.
Project scope is okay. Selling all customer between this. Okay. See, I tell you. Handset accessories, pouch, batteries, feeding through distributor. I'm not sure about this, but this actually overall, if you see from ownership of the product, this could be part of the scope.
Okay. So
this is also part of the scope. We are talking about some specific features of the phone.
Okay.
They're supposed to be there.
I see.
If you see from the design team point of view, who is going to launch the product, who is going to manufacture or market it. But like you come from market, you may be thinking from that side that you own the product and you want to get it manufactured and sell it in the market. With this,
so I have flavored that point. Fine.
Deliverables fine, but without date. Okay. There is no date needed. I think milestone plan we need the date. The project started, end date, delivery date. Project charter approval, project plan completed, plan approved. Okay. I think we see when we say plan completed and plan approved, actually our milestone is plan approved, not plan completed. So there may be like in this 1 day ahead. So I say in 4 or 5 major event in the project are milestones. So plan complete and plan approved, they are happening in a 1 day, so we can pick up the later one, which close the planning portion. So plan is over here. Charter approved means initiation is over.
Correct.
Executed means the delivery should happen. So what is our when the execution will over? When the product will be delivered. So product deliver on this date. Assembly should happen by this date. Planned or assembly should deliver. Most of the milestone, if you see in the real projects or whatever like you might have seen, most of the milestones are attached to some deliverables.
Okay.
Right. So you provide something to your customer, and customer say, yeah, this milestone is achieved. You provided the requirement document, is okay, requirement milestone achieved. You provide the design documents, and design milestone is achieved. You provided the first set of things, okay, prototype is achieved. So this is how the customer or the people around actually measure the progress on the project. The project is progressing as required, or it is late, or it is ahead.
Yeah, got it.
Right. And stakeholder, project manager, customer, consultant, advisor, okay, successful execution 6 months, operation manager, CEO, CMD, promoter, customer. Yeah, so this is, I think stakeholders are identified properly, but requirement, we mean to say that what they are looking into the project, what they are looking into the takeaway. Basically, most of them are looking for takeaway. They are less contributors. They all, whatever you have identified, they have a takeaway. So like CMD has a takeaway, promoter has a takeaway, customer has a takeaway. Now value for money is fine, but how you define value for money?
See, that value for money in the sense there are other things, monetary, non-monetary, both benefits that again will come in the marketing and sales planning. Value for money in the sense whatever selling price we are going to keep and whatever cost we are going to match for while production, whatever budget we are going to allocate at the time of project production, that should match, and we should produce the quality product in terms of that, which will give us this actual selling price what we are selling.
Correct.
So customer will have end of the day the value for money, whatever they have paid, they have really got the good product. So that's what I thought.
Correct. So what you are saying, we need to benchmark this in the industry. So industry, there are some features, against that there is a cost. So when we say value for money means our product will give more features at a lower price, right?
True, exactly.
So that's what we have to define this. So we need to define exactly the things here, because we are talking about something which is like value for money. See, these things are
The general terms. You have to be specific.
Everybody defines its own terms actually.
Yeah. You have to be specific.
What is value for you and what is value for me could be different actually.
True. I got it. You have to be specific.
Yeah, we have to be specific. What do you mean when you say value for money means what you are looking feature rich and low cost. You are talking about even though the cost is high but the features are very high. That is also value for money. We should be more specific, I mean to say. You write one thing but it has to be much more specific. Like acceptability. We don't know what is acceptability. We need to define actually here what is acceptability. So this whatever you
That's
think is
actually,
acceptability, that you write here.
These are the things which I thought market research will give us some inputs, and then customers behavior on those looking at those inputs, we will define that product. That's what I thought.
Right. So when we are giving charter, it means we have a market research in our hand.
Of course.
Right. So when we say acceptability, so we should think about user and say what is acceptable to him and then put it here.
Right.
That thing will make it acceptable. So we need not to write acceptability, we need to write this is what is required by the customer or by the user.
Okay. So what exactly acceptability means, that I have to define. I have to be specific.
What you really understand by acceptability, your definition of acceptability should be put here in terms of this product.
In project, correct.
See what happens, this is a project charter. This is where anyway it is high level. You give it to some other person. Now that person
He should be
has your mind, read your mind. No, it's not possible. So his perception, he will read the same line but understand absolutely differently. Entirely.
It will vary person to person. True. Agree.
That is what is the most of the time the tussle happen between marketing and delivery team. Marketing come from or the sales team come from market perspective. Delivery team think from the delivery point of perspective, and they do not match actually. The parameters of measurements are entirely different.
Yeah.
Even I tell you the way the software industry is going on, the person is on the offshore with the team. He goes to the on-site and sit with the customer. You know what is the normally offshore teams normally complain that after going this person there on the customer side, he has become customer.
I know. He talks in that language only.
Yeah, because he thinks that way now. He talks now different language altogether.
Yeah, there is common experience.
Okay, let's see the scope statement. Yeah, I think some background is giving, which is okay, which is good actually.
Thanks.
Now when we say product attractive with various color, gender specific, example girl with pink, see this is the scope. Everything has to be no like, no such as, no good, no bad. These terms are absolutely prohibited in the scope statement. You specifically write Girls, young girls are our customer, and young girls need this. Hello? Okay. Getting my voice, right?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I'm getting now.
Okay, so we have to be very specific, especially in the scope statement. Scope is something which is the most troubling area.
Okay.
I will show you some dictionary of the words which we say are prohibited in using them in the scope statement. Or if you find them in some kind of scope statement of work anywhere, please document those sentences as a risk.
Oh, okay.
Any ambiguity in the scope is a risk and can
I
lead
see.
to any kind of escalation.
Oh, so sensitive.
Very sensitive. In fact, this is the foundation of a project. Anything is loose here will
Okay.
make like project shaking in feet later. It's like
Oh,
you have put a foundation, and then there is a tall
yeah.
building on that, maybe uh, say 100 meters or 100 means I think let's say 500 meters the
Okay.
tall building is there.
Uh,
A small shake in the foundation, say 1 degree, after
uh,
500 meter becomes the building is
yeah.
moving feet from left to right,
Tilted.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is what happened in the project. Anything which is
It's
small
the
in the
same,
scope,
same like,
at the end of
it's
at the
same like
time of
flat.
delivery of the project, it will be like
Yeah.
exploding like anything.
Okay.
The project is like that only. So scope is foundation, and the top floor is your delivery.
Okay. You mean that one in a rifle shooting, if 1 degree is tilted, then at the target till it hits, it is few feet away from the target.
Few feet, absolutely. It will go to some other target.
Yeah. Some other- So that 1 degree. Okay. I mean, we
Yeah.
have to be more clear about that. So once we get the
Absolutely
direction,
clear on the scope, no such as, no like, no uh, good, no bad. Good,
okay,
tell what is good.
what is good? Okay. No, we have to be more specific. No
Very
open-ended.
specific,
Very
very
close-ended.
specific.
Okay.
See, that is why at initiation, there are a lot of uncertainty in the project. If we
I
keep
see.
think that uncertainty as uncertainty, then it will continue as uncertain, and later it becomes very uncertain actually. And you mean something, some other person will implement in a totally different way.
No. Okay. Uh-huh.
Business objective, target, young users. This between this acquire. Actually, uh, this is the background basically that we are going to target. But uh, when we say achieve business objective, this target is not the part of the business objective, but we should say that what make 15 to 30 people between 15 to 30, what feature will make them buy. So
Okay.
that feature there in the in the mobile phone becomes our objective.
Okay. So here
All
we have to
next-
specify, we have
is
to be
fine.
more specific about products.
Yeah. Moreover, I do not like at least, but we say, okay, acquire 50% market. That's good.
Dictionary also is refusing to like it.
Yeah. So at least it's not a good idea, but say, okay, I want to achieve 40%, 50% market. Earn the maximum bottom line by being first entrant. So this maximum is again,
Maximum I have to be specific.
yeah. Once completer launch our use launches use price as USP. Okay, complete the launch within 6 months. That could be, this is right. Lot of parallel activities to happen, resulting cost saving. So when we see, you do not write what need to be done to cost saving. You need to write objective. I want to have at least 10% cost saving, or cost saving of 50, 500, 100, or $100,000 or whatever it is.
Okay.
The total project is of supposedly $1 million. I say I want to achieve 100,000 cost saving at least on this project.
Okay, got it.
Convert this into figure. You need not to tell what to do. That project manager will I will do. When you execute, you identify the way.
Of course.
Manual. Okay. Mobile phone handset. See. So mobile phone handset, then we say some critical functionality as I explained earlier. Not in the scope, vendor management, product warranty support, outsourcing. That's right. Completion criteria. No, this is not completion. Completion criteria means acceptance criteria. This is milestone schedule. Completer will not launch before our launch. Actually, this is not assumption. This is a risk. Risk is completer may launch a mobile phone before us. What we are going to do?
So that's where we have assumed it that he is not going to launch. That's why the project deadline is 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
That's why we have assumed.
Okay. Okay. I mean that is fine. I think this is right. Attrition will not happen during 6 months. Oh, that's a great assumption.
We are assuming.
Yeah, I think we assume everything here. Then this assumption is dangerous. You mean to say none of the person in the project will leave the project?
Yeah, because that will paralyze everything.
You need to pray. We have to. What you need to do actually, you have to wake up at 5 o'clock and pray for 1 hour.
I'll be more superstitious.
Or otherwise, you have to be in the office 1 hour before and go 1 hour late and be in the service of all the people all the time.
What happens that everybody knows that competition is going to launch within 6 months. So it is a very sensitive area where attritions are, I mean, they are likely to happen because they know that some other opportunity is ready there.
This is sensitive to you. Your team member, it may not be sensitive, sir. For him, the sensitive things are something different. Actually, that is what the project manager's ultimate aim. That how he can align the individual's objective with the project objective.
Yeah.
If that project manager can do, I can say that nobody will leave your project.
True.
If you make the person's experience in the project like anything, which then they will not leave. I think yesterday I was just hearing what Modi was saying. One thing he said very well actually, and it was that improvement or changes or development shouldn't be part of the management or should not be part of the something. The people should be part of that.
Yeah, individual. One step everybody
should be part of that growth or that development of that mission actually.
True.
So if people feel being part of the mission and seeing that we have a collective achievement out of it, nobody will leave. This is very much possible. It's not such a great assumption as such. We put effort, but in today's circumstances, you see, improvement means it is the management who wants to improve. It's the people who do not want to improve. That's the overall perception actually.
Yeah.
And that is why whenever some improvement areas come or whenever management want to improve, some people leave the organization.
Because they are always
because they are not engaged.
More.
They are not part of the mission. It is the management job actually. They have taken out actually. It is management who is improving the organization. It is not the people. And that's why people feel detached and they say this is another headache now. Let's leave it.
Yeah,
it can happen with that resource. We'll give away the project. Yeah, it can happen. There could be many circumstances, but I think normally if we keep people engaged, they're quite going well actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so core competency resources, financial backup, just could be constrained, yes, product plant, machinery performance. So I think constraint and assumptions normally are reviewed for when we talk about risk management, risk identification. So we review all the assumption and constraints.
Okay.
I think most of the things we have discussed, but let me quickly go through the list also.
We have got most of the things common.
Yeah. We launch it.
Let's be set together.
Just creating it. Yeah, there is nothing quantifiable here, so make it more quantifiable. Sleek mobile phone. So we need to be putting, this is fine, but we need to put a little more stuff saying that okay, why we are launching and what we want to achieve and what should product should look like. So there is some details about the product, but some more stuff can be added into this. Company has certain age. I think the same thing is here actually. The real reason behind that is missing. So competitor is not the reason for launching the product. It is the room which is available to us. There are 20 crore people available and 10 crore only being catered to today. So that's why this product should flourish. Oh, this is more or less same. This is also same. Okay, so Dalit has modified your version actually. Okay, Ajay's version and then. Okay. They are more or less same.
Modi has come, so it's all everybody's talking about modifying.
Okay. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me show you another one, which maybe give a little more idea about in the same. There is another which is we have got, and you just look at this. What is written here? I think this couple of things in this examples are quite good actually. So like project objective is to manufacture a basic mobile phone with an eco-drive technology which does not require battery charging or replacement. Mobile's battery will be powered primarily by either natural or artificial light. Forward Telecom has patented the eco-drive technology and will be pioneered of such mobile phone. So executive summary is talking about some background about and what exactly the mission is. A target customer for this mobile will be a user who face electricity unavailability shortage to keep their mobile charged. So you have identified a particular area that where there is a pain point which we are trying to address. And right now there is no one who is addressing. The phone should be priced in the range of 200 to 2,300. That is the rupees. That means it's a low cost mobile, basic mobile phone. So the people who do not have electricity supply may not be able to buy a costly mobile also. So this is a consistency in that. First lot will consist of 10,000 units only as a testing. Mobile phone will have a basic feature such as SMS and utilities. First version of the mobile will not support GPRS connectivity. There is no need. phone and SMS. So that is also a type of mobile, right? There is a audience for this kind of mobile also. You know, there is a American who built a incubator actually. That incubator doesn't require electricity, and they are selling this at a very low price in some area in Africa, and it's pretty successful.
That's what innovative product always gives you good business and margins.
Yeah, because that is a pain area nobody is addressing it.
Yeah.
Forward Telecom want to pioneer in the innovative idea and grab the first mover advantage in the market with the patent technology. Yeah, this in this also some quantifiable results is seen. So they initial 10,000 units. What can be written that we need to sell this initial 10,000 unit within 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, something like that.
But normally this patent, if you have to get a patent, its process is very long. So within 6 months you may not get that patented.
No, even you have filed for patent, you can go ahead until unless they revoke your patent, it is patented by you. Nobody can file the patent again on the same technology until if you have filed, even if you are not.
If it is under process, still we can own it, right?
See, suppose you have taken some kind of you have developed some kind of technology. You go and patent it. So you have filed a patent.
Yeah.
It's enough for you actually. Right. If you have filed some same for a particular technology, for the same technology, nobody else can file. So if you are very sure that this technology is very new and nobody has it done, then it is patented. Then you are done. But if other person already have done it earlier, then your claim will be rejected. Then you will be losing some money on that.
I see.
So including in the deliverables like this basic mobile phone, multilingual network, software utility, FM, like some utilities which are mentioned. But now the problem in this is that it is only you are only concentrated on activity of the project. Now this scope is completely focused on the product features. We also have to have our project activities that these are also part of the scope.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is completely focused on product. What you have prepared is completely focused on activities.
Activities, project activities.
While we have both the things. Now look at this. I think this is pretty good. At least 9,500 defect-free hardware units are available. So acceptance criteria. Calling and SMS functionality is 100% defect-free. These two things are not acceptable if any defect is there. No showstopper, no major bug in other utility. Up to 10 minor bug in other utility is acceptable.
Okay. So tolerance and
now, if your product match this criteria, the other person has to accept it, right?
Of course.
So that is how we have to write. What is assumption? It is assumed that the hardware required for new technology, that is battery, will be available at the project start date. That's a dependency actually. They have not mentioned any constraint. Not a good idea. Right, so a couple of things which are good here.
Yeah. Now, one interesting thing is that we have to be specific, not generic terms.
You have to
like
be specific.
Diplomatic talk, not. Interesting. Yeah.
Okay. So should we start with the next subject?
Yeah, sure. I think it's time management, right?
Yeah, it's time management now.
Good. Done. Thank you.
So any of you have you used any scheduler like MS Project, Primavera?
I'm 100% not at all in connection with that.
Okay. You have not used, you don't know what is it.
No, it's Greek and Latin for me right now.
Okay, okay. Microsoft Project and okay, Primavera. Okay.
Never.
Anybody has used? No? So actually Microsoft Project and my Primavera and other, there are many other tools available. There's Open Project and other things.
Should we practice on this Microsoft project in parallel? Will that add value in our learnings?
Sorry, Ajay?
No, I said that should we practice on this Microsoft project so that it will add value in our studies?
If you are in the project management, scheduler is one of the very, very important part of project management.
Right.
In fact, in many places, I just give training on scheduler, on Microsoft Project.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's what I was trying. Earlier, I was communicating for that also.
In fact, in many places when there is no project management practices, I start with Microsoft Project. Because in Microsoft Project, you can do those things actually, which are just not like you understand some concepts and do yourself. Yeah, you need to have software, but you can Microsoft Project is free actually for 2 months. So there is a trial version which run for 2 months. Actually will give you enough opportunities to understand it or at least see what it is. So what is time management? Basically these schedulers are there for time management only. So what I'm going to talk here in this time management is basically about how we should prepare a schedule. Earlier it used to happen without any tool, which is pretty laborious work. Now because these tools are available, Primavera was earlier than Microsoft Project. They are every project management tool has this kind of software. Yeah, there are many softwares available actually, not only these are quite popular ones. So you can use this software to prepare a schedule. Scheduler is mainly to take care of the time of the project. What activity should happen at what time, who will do, and how we're going to track, and tracking on a regular basis that our project is going on time or not. But it was the initial objective. Now because the project, these new tools have their costing, scoping, resourcing. So today if you buy a scheduler, it does not take care of the time. It is still the primary requirement, but it takes care of your complete scope, it takes care of your complete cost, it takes care of your complete resource management, and it helps you to optimize your schedule, optimize your resources on the project. So time management basically intention is to deliver the product on time. So take care of that every milestone is being achieved on time, and at the end the project is achieved, completed on time. It is one of the lengthy chapter. So one is time management, another is risk management, which contains about 7 activities. Though the controlling schedule is nothing but doing from plan schedule management to develop schedule again and again on a regular basis. So 6 processes are part of the planning group, 1 process is part of the control group. This is the overall flow, how scheduling happen or how we prepare a time management plan. So prepare a schedule management, how we're going to schedule, what tools we are going to use, what are the ground rules for it, what are the basic things what are the units of measures, etc., which all defined in schedule. So when we say how we are going to do it, is management plan. Then we created a WBS, work breakdown structure in scoping, and we stopped at work package. And work package was the smallest deliverable, right? Now work package is a deliverable. Now to produce that deliverable, you need to have some activities. That is what is here. So we take every work package and identify activities to be performed to develop that delivery, that work package. So here is that take every work package from the scope work breakdown structure WBS and identify activities to perform to complete that work package. Once we identify activities, we identify the relationship between these activities. That is sequencing, which will happen first, which will happen, which depend upon what. Something like if you want to, if you in a construction project, if you are constructing a room, you cannot have roof without pillars. The sequence. So first you have to put foundation, then first floor, then second floor. You cannot have second floor before the first floor. So these are dependencies. So this is what we identify and define. Many places it is very straightforward, but many places it is not so straightforward. And therefore we need to think and put all the dependencies here. Now we estimate what kind of, for each activity, what kind of resources are required in how much quantity. Once we have this, then we estimate how much time it will take. So 2 resources are available, the activities are there, so with 2 resources it will take 10 days. Once we have all these things, we can put the schedule together, which will be a complete end-to-end, when the project will start, when the project will end, what activity will happen when, who will do this, how much cost we going to incur on it, who are the resources we will do it. So first part is the plan, schedule management plans, preparing a schedule management plan. And input is project management plan and project charter. Now what are analytic techniques? They are techniques which are schedule management, schedule development techniques, which are considered as analytical techniques here. So estimating and schedule preparation techniques like scheduling tool, like I just give you Primavera, Microsoft Project and other, Clarity and many others. Now what exactly we need to define in schedule management plan? We need to define that what is the model, which tool we are going to use, what is the level of accuracy. It should be a 1 day, it should be measured in day, week, months. So if it is a 6-month project, probably we will be talking about in hours also in some places. So what is the unit of measure, the level of accuracy in unit of measure? Should we consider only 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, or 1.5 days also good for us? So level of accuracy. What are the procedures you're going to use? Control threshold, how much deviation is fine? 5% deviation is okay. After that we have to take some action. So something like that. Control threshold. Performance measurement, how are we going to measure the performance? What's the reporting part?
JIT, just in time, that can be a part of the schedule, time schedule management, or it's different?
Just in time strategy will generate more activities in schedule management plan.
That's what I mean. Right.
That strategy will make your, like, you have dependency on the raw material, and raw material will happen when your actual activity will start. Raw material will come that time. So you will have lot of other activities coming just before the activity start. Of that, your raw material is being ordered and the latency time is taken care of for that. So suppose something is taken 15 days to procure. So you need to order it. Okay. Hello. Okay. Getting my voice now? No. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
Getting? Okay.
Now, okay.
Okay. So what we're talking about unit of measure, the reporting format, and what you were saying that just in time. Just in time will add some more activities that like, because hello. Hello. Okay. Are you getting me? Hello. Are you getting me now?
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So what I was saying that just in time actually add some more activities in the schedule, because
Okay.
uh, you need to be very particular about ordering and getting it on time. So that's what just in time enforce, right?
Yeah. It refers. I mean, there are different lines, production lines, assembly line rather. So before one thing comes, so it should be synchronized, and before the one body comes, the allied second part should come before that, or maybe it should be synchronized at the same time. So time management is very important there.
Correct, correct. So you need to schedule that when you are going to order these specific part, because you need to order only then the things will be supplied.
Yeah.
And you
So
will be
in
ordering
supply,
on multiple
supply of,
things, not at one time and you procure everything. Not like that.
correct.
So that will add some more things in the schedule.
Hmm.
The second is about once you have defined your overall model, that how you're going to plan level of accuracy, what is the reporting format, what is the how you're going to, what is the measure of unit, all these things. Then you actually take the work package from the WBS and start identifying activities to perform. Like suppose there is a software module to be produced. Suppose there is a software module to be produced, then we have couple of activities like prepare a specification, coding, unit testing, code review, code rework, and this is a milestone. So all these activities are identified, they are performed, then your code will be produced. This module can be produced. So that is what the work here in defining the activities and get what the output is. Objective is to get the list of activities for all the work package and identifying their all attributes. What time it will start, who will do, any
can be
dependent.
overlapping also. No? Once we have defined, then overlapping also could be possible.
Yeah, that will come into
parallel
sequencing. That will come into sequencing, overlapping, parallel or sequence.
Sequence, correct.
Kanban is also a good concept in this sense, right? In fact, all the points in lean management are very, very important and very good in all kind of management. Either it is service, manufacturing or construction, any kind of this. Lean concepts are very, very basics and very, very efficient and very important. So you take project scope baseline. Scope baseline means scope statement, WBS and WBS dictionary. And what you get all the work packages, because you need to identify activities to perform for each work package. Now they put tools as decomposition. While I disagree with this term, this is not decomposition, because you are not breaking into further into smaller pieces. That's not decomposition. Actually, you are identifying activities to perform. So which is identification of the activities, it's not decomposition. But PMI says decomposition, so for exam purpose, you please remember it. Another thing which is explained here is a rolling wave planning. I think I give a little idea about it some time back. So what is rolling wave planning? Is because we are talking about taking work package and then defining activities. Now you have a plan from here to here, and you define a window of 1 month. So whatever work package fall into this window, you define activities or put details about all the things which are falling into 1 month. But remaining after 1 month, this is still at high level.
But what we mentioned in WIP chart.
Yeah, work breakdown structure.
Work in progress. Yeah.
But the structure was like that. Like, you remember something like that?
Yeah.
So in this, the last one is work package. So this is our work package. Now we have to identify activities to perform under it so that this work package can be produced. So there are a couple of strategies, because you have a good work breakdown structure. You may not be able to identify activities for all the work package, probably. Not necessarily, but it could happen. If such a thing is there, because initially the uncertainty is high, what you can do, you can use rolling wave planning. Means you define a window, under that window, time window, under that window, whatever work packages are coming or whatever work packages you need to deliver, you define activities only for that. So suppose in first 1 month only requirement is coming, requirement document. So whatever the requirement documents, like requirement document, perform requirement like gathering, requirement analysis, requirement documentation, and then define the activities which you need to perform in gathering the requirements. Now design you don't do. So after 15 days, suppose you are reviewing. So when you review, you shift your window by 15 days. So now your window is this. So whatever now work packages have come into this, which will be design work packages, you define the activities for that. or put those whatever is coming in this into more detail. Rest.
But this rolling wave planning,
Yeah.
rolling wave planning will have various work packages related to time in the same block, or it will be separate for every work package?
You see what is happening. You have work package. Do you have a project, right? Here it is
Right.
requirement which need to be delivered. Here design to be delivered. Here the phase 1 to be delivered. Here the phase 2 will be delivered. Here the further verification has to happen. Here the project is complete, right? Now if I define work package a WBS, the WBS requirement related work package will come here. Design related work package will come here. Phase 1 related work package will come here. Phase 2 related work package will come here, right?
So it will have only one work package, right?
Why one work package? This is requirement. This is design. This is construction. This is verification. Under this, there are 3: requirement gathering, requirement analysis, and requirement document. Right?
Yeah.
See, here the foundation is happening. Then the first story, second story, every story is a deliverable, right?
Right.
You have a big mega township. In mega township also happen in iterative manner. Like they will say the first phase, first 3 buildings. Second phase, next 3 buildings. So in the first phase means first 2 years only 3 buildings will fall into that, right? So you need to define that what are the happening in after 2 years. In the first 2 years, what is happening is we are going to detail it out. Once this is complete half, then we will plan for the next phase, and then we will detail it out for the next phase. This is what ultimately idea is, that the near-term activities should be defined in detail and far-term activities are defined at high level. This is what rolling planning is. Got it?
Yeah, very much.
So you get activity list, all the list of the activities. You get activity attributes, something like ID of the attribute, the name, description, predecessor, successor, leads and lags, who resource, who going to do this, when starting, when ending, any constraint assumption or anything else like that. And you get a milestone list. Though you have a milestone project plan at the time of the scope definition or charter, but those milestones will be at very high level. Maybe you have much more milestones now. Especially for the team, the milestones are more in number than the external people. For customer, it could be a 5 milestone, but for the team to continuously check the progress, you can define your own milestones within those milestones.
Okay.
Just a minute, give me a minute. Okay. So next will be sequencing the activities. So let's do one thing. Let's take a 10 minutes break, and then we'll resume.
Yeah. Perfect.
Right at 7:45.
Yeah. It's almost 7:37 right now.
Okay, so 7:50.
Done.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's resume. So this is how I just bought some more stuff to understand it. So in the scope, we defined like this: project, then deliverables, then sub deliverables, then under it some work package. So we define up to this place. Now what we are doing in defining activities, we are defining the tasks which need to be performed to complete that work package. The tasks which we need to perform to complete a work package. Something like this. You have a 3-story office building. First deliverable is foundation. Second is steel erection. Now to deliver foundation, you need to do this, 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 and this. For steel erection, you need to do this, 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 and this. Right? Not seeing anything?
If you're drawing something, I don't know, I'm not able to see drawing any picture.
Is this a problem with the other side as well? I'm on a slide which is showing 3-story building, a work breakdown structure and activities.
No, nothing is there. I'm seeing only define activity slide.
The previous slide, the where the resume at 7:30 written.
Vivek, your screen.
Yes, Babura.
I'm able to see your screen. I think he's only having a problem.
Ajay, check.
I don't know.
The screen is not refreshing.
I think my net is having some issue or what, I don't know.
But your voice is coming.
For voice it's fine, I mean, not that much bandwidth it is because
Yeah. I don't see much problem. And as of now, you didn't see any issue, right? In refreshing the screen.
just now it happened.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to hear only.
So these are the things which are activities. Example to show that what we are talking about. So up to in the scope, we define this, this, and this. Now we are defining this, these, and this. So once we have identified all the activities, the next step is to identify the relationship among them. That means which are predecessor, which are successor, which are the activities will happen in parallel, which are the activity will happen in sequence. So what we do, we use precedence diagramming method, that's PDM, to draw a network diagram which shows us the dependency. So what we get is a network diagram. So inputs are those things which are identified in the previous process, and then we do a precedence diagramming method and prepare a chart, a dependency chart, or prepare a network diagram. So basically this precedence network diagramming method contains activity on the node and arrow shows dependency. So It just shows F is dependent on E and B. So E and B will happen, only then F can happen. C depends upon B, so once the B is completed, C can start. So this arrow is showing finish to start to finish dependency, finish to start dependency. So there are 4 types of dependency. One is finish to start to start, finish to finish, and start to finish. Now I have little idea that we have this start to finish uses, so I continue focusing on finish to start to start, finish to finish. So finish to start, you simply know that it's a simple arrow which is showing the sequence. That is, if this is A, so if this is A and this is B, it is showing that B depends upon A. That means once the A will finish, then only B will start. So if A is delayed by 1 day, the B will start after 1 day because B depends upon it. If it finishes early, the B will start early. Now what is here in start to start? It means there is something here which is being checked out, which is required for activity B to start, or something here which is triggering both to start at the same time. So there is a C activity which is completing A and B will happen in parallel. So there is something which we say that once A start, then the B can start at the same time. Similarly, finish to finish. Finish to finish means once the A finishes, the B can also finish. Until A finishes, B cannot finish. So this is a kind of must dependency that A must finish before B, but here is A starts, then B can also start. A finishes, then B can also finish, but it cannot finish early. So these are the 3 dependencies. 80 to 90% you will see finish to start. In some cases it is finish to finish and start to start and finish to finish. Maybe this altogether become 10 to 20%. So when we determine dependency, we should understand that there are some mandatory dependency and some are discretionary dependencies. They are important to understand. What are mandatory dependencies? Mandatory dependencies are imposed. They are normally external dependencies. They are imposed, which we have little to do. Right? Until unless you produce a product, you cannot sell it. So sale will always come after production. A roof comes after pillars. Right? Until unless raw material is there, you cannot produce the product. They are all mandatory dependencies. You cannot change them. But there are some discretionary dependencies. I have a choice. I do not see A and B are dependent. I can do them in parallel. I can do them in sequence. Right? It is up to me. So these things are discretionary because I have one resource. So I will, and both that same resource will be used on A and B. So I have to put this. But if I have 2 resources, I can do them in parallel. So it is basically a situation at my end, or I have decided like that because I have a luxurious time. So I will do them in sequence. When I have crunch of time, I will make them in parallel. So mandatory dependency cannot be changed, discretionary dependency can be changed, and therefore discretionary dependencies can be revalidated or can be reviewed once again when we have to crash the project. When we have to compress the project duration. So when the challenges come, we want to finish the project in 6 months and the total schedule is coming 7 months. We need to reduce the total duration by 1 month. We reevaluate all the discretionary dependency and see if we can make them in parallel instead of sequence, which will help us to reduce the project duration. Now every time you do so, you compromises the reason for keeping them in sequence. Sometimes that compromise may not be very costly, but in some cases it may be expensive. In some cases it may not be risky, in some other cases it may be risky. I'm just taking the some risk in this manner. They're saying, okay, let's try to do this when A and B together. I will compromise the reason for being them in sequence because they can be re-evaluated because they are discretionary, they are not mandatory. Then the things will come lead and lag. What is lead and lag? Lead means the dependence B depend upon A, but we have started B before A finishes. B is finishing here, A is finishing here, but we have started this. So if this is 2 days, what we say that at B we have taken 2 days of lead on A. So when we show it on the network diagram, it will be shown like this. Finish to start minus 2T means B and A have finished to start dependency within 2 days of lead. On the other side, there could be possible of lag. This is A, this is B. So at A is finishing, completing a half finished product. Here it is half finished product. The remaining work on this product will happen at site. Suppose this is site X, this is site Y. So B is happening at site Y, A is happening at site X, and it takes 2 days to transport the material or this half finished good from site X to site Y. So though the B depend upon A, still B has to wait for 2 days to start because transportation takes 2 days and transportation is not the project activity, but it is the courier activity. It will be shipped activity. The shipper will take time. So if we could manage B at site X, then this lag can be managed. So when we use lead is something like the things which are happening in sequence, making them parallel. Therefore, we compromise the reason for being in sequence, and therefore there is a calculated risk get come here. So whenever we try to do this sequencing thing in parallel, the risk on the project increases. And when this is a kind of thing which is a situation given to us where a pillar we have erected, but the thing is that until unless this pillar, the cement gets settled down, we cannot start the roof. So we need to wait for 3 days to start the roof work. So roof depend upon pillars, but once pillars are done, the roof will start after 3 days. So that is called lag. So lead and lag help us to get more realistic date in our project. So project schedule network diagram we get at the end of this process. Something like that. So starting D and A are starting at the same time. The duration is 5 and 4. Then E depend upon D, B depend upon A, E depend upon B also with the SS plus 1. It means as soon as D starts, E can also start, but with a 1 day of lag. So what is this? This is 5. This should start at 5. This is 4. And this is 6. So 4 plus 6 is basically 10. So here it is actually not making much difference. no, it's making a difference. It will not start at 5, but it will start at, no, it will start at, sorry, B is starting at 4th, right, and finishing at 10. So 4 plus 1, this is starting at 5. So basically this and this is C. But if this will be 5, then it will be 5, and therefore then the E will be starting at 6, not at 5. Similarly here, this is Fs plus 5. So it is ending at 10. So 10 plus 5 means it will start on 15th day. So if this is 5, 7 plus 5 is 12, and then it is 22. So this will start on 24. So it is 22 Fs plus minus 2, sorry, minus 2, it is 20. Not, it is not plus, it is a lead. This dependency is like this. This is F, this is G, and this is 2 days. So 2 days of lead. And this is something like this. This is C, this is P, and this is 5 days. Now once you have identified sequence, then the turn is about it turns to identify resources required for performing this activity. So we have several techniques to yes, Prakash.
I mean, the lead time is something which is saving the time, right, for the project, or lag is something
Which will
transportation, so it is a wasting of some time, right?
it's not waste, but it is a we say idle wait time. We have been made to
Yeah,
wait. Waste will be,
right. But
we can say waste if you don't do anything during this time, but you can utilize resources for some other purpose.
okay. So in short, lead means something which is we are going to use it aggressively. So moving forward very quickly, right?
Yeah, but too quick is also a problem. So it's
Yeah.
about balancing.
Right.
So quick just shouldn't be that you make the project infeasible or make the project very aggressive. Okay, so and these
Okay.
things impact the project only when we do it on critical path. We will see that how to identify critical path. But these things are
Okay.
when we do not even critical path, because critical path decides the project duration.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so not everywhere we can do this. We need to check that is this feasible, and feasible that, as I said, whenever you try to do sequencing things in parallel, risk on the project increases. So we need to see how much risk we can take on the project. Only then we have to go with this.
Okay.
Otherwise, we may, in the spot shortening the project, we may make the project very aggressive or very risky, which will defeat the whole purpose because we will not achieve the objective of the project. We will achieve the time. This happens many times. Because when you reduce the duration, you also save cost. Organization looking for saving cost often reduce the project, but when because the quality of the product is compromised, you at the end of the day you end up spending more money than actually supposed to.
Right. With the quality problem.
Yeah, so you end up fixing the thing. The fixing will always costlier than producing the things right at the first time.
Right.
So we then, once we have identified this, we estimate the resources. We identify resources which are required and how much quantity, and how much quantity is available. We use various methods. We'll discuss about them. The resource calendar and risk register are also input. We need to understand that resource calendar means the availability of the resources, because this will availability of the resources will constrain our options or reduce our options. And similarly, that how much risk on the project and what kind of risk we can take by having those people on board. So one important tool is alternative analysis. The alternative analysis we do, suppose we required some resources because we need 5 supervisors on a construction of building, but we are not getting 5 supervisors. We try to identify alternatives. Who else can do this job? This also means that we give this work to some other people. We say, okay, let's get the people on contract. So you identify an agency and get the people on contract. You don't hire people. So that's an alternative. The contracted people could be more costlier, but you can get rid of them at the early also. So there are advantage, disadvantage. That is the alternative analysis. What kind of resources are available? If they are not available, what are the alternatives do? So we need to identify those alternatives at the time of scheduling itself, so that we know how we're going to execute. So not only what we need to deliver, but how we are going to deliver is equally important. And that is what alternative analysis is all about. Published estimated data will help us in the projects where we do not have very good estimates, or we do not have capability to estimate. So in that case, published data by other companies, or there are some research companies, or there are some like consultancy company who keep publishing data, that can be used. Bottom-up estimates normally used for identifying the overall resources at a higher level in the hierarchy, in the WBS hierarchy. So you identify resources at each activity, and then sum them up at a higher work package, then on higher deliverables, then at the end of the day, it's a project level. So we know on this project we need 2 project managers, 5 engineers, 2 architects. All these things you can identify. You need a project management software. Normally scheduling is very changing artifact. In fact, on the project is the schedule is the most changing artifact, and therefore it is very difficult without a software. If you start charting out your Gantt chart through hand, it is going to be taking multifold more time than a software. And what you get is the activity resource requirement. So whatever at the project level, you get the overall resources. So suppose you have these 3 activities. Above this, there are 2 deliverables here, and let's say here. So here we need 1 architect here, 2 designers here, 2 supervisors here, 5 labor. So at project level, if you see, I need 2 architects, 2 designers, 3 supervisor, and 5 labor. So this is what we get to know total activity resource requirements on the project. What kind of resources we need on this project. We also put a resource breakdown structure. So instead of activity, we can say for the top is PM and then architect, designer, or under architect there are 2 designers, some draftsmen. So this kind of resource breakdown structure we can create, a hierarchical structure. Once we identify resources, our next step is to estimate the duration, because number of resources available will decide how much time it will take, each activity will take. So there are various methods to do this. We'll see them, what these activities are. So first one is analogous estimates, and this analogous estimates is nothing but you have a project in your historical database and you have a new project, P new, and this project is very much similar to this. So PN is very much similar to PH, the project which has happened in past. Because they are very similar, therefore the actual performance on PH can be used to estimate PN. Right? How we actually perform on PN is the right estimate for PN. Now, how accurate these estimates are? It all depends upon how similar PN and PH are. More the similarity, more the accurate your estimates are. But it is 1-to-1 between one project to one project. A similar project, we have taken the actual performance done on the previous project as an estimate of the new project. So this is more reliable if activities in this project are similar, in fact, with the activities in the earlier project. The parametric estimates are also based on previous project. The difference between analogous and parametric is that the analogous estimates happen 1-to-1. But in parametric estimates are also based on previous projects, but they are basically go around a formula. So there should be some mathematical formula in parametric estimate. Now how you figure out this formula, that may be based on our experience. So there is a formula here that days required to erect a wall is required wall length into productivity of the one labor into number of labors. Now you have this in the project. This you need to have like estimated in the previous process. To get how many days are required to erect a wall depend upon the productivity of one labor. Now how do you know the productivity of one labor? That may be defined by the earlier projects. So suppose I have here it is size of the project, and here is the productivity. Target versus actual completion of the project. Not as such, I just show you what is happening. So I have suppose 50 projects in my history right now. Last couple of years we have executed 50 projects. So we start plotting on the size and the productivity of the people. So it goes like that. Right? Every dot is a project plotting, that the size was small, the productivity was this much. The size was this much, productivity was this much. The size was this much, productivity was this much. Size was this much, productivity was this much. You will see that as the size is increasing, the productivity is coming down. So I try to map this, or like this. I size it like that as the size increases, productivity decreases. Or it is something like this. It could be something like this also. It's not a line, it is a circle. It's a curve. Right. So based on the plotting of the other projects, based between size and productivity, you come to know what is the size and what is the productivity. Now, depending upon the size of the project of current project, I can say the productivity of the labor is what. And based on this productivity, I can find out how many days it will take. Right? So parametric estimates are also based on the previous project, but not one project, multiple projects, and then we try to get a formula out of it, and then use that formula to estimate the new project. So from the previous project, multiple projects, we try to find out some formula between two variables, and then use one variable is available, other variable try to estimate in the new project based on that formula. And that is called parametric estimates. In fact, when you ask some painter on your at your home or at your office to paint the walls, he does the same thing. He knows, he has no a methodology to figure out how much a labor does, because his experience tell him. Every project he learns, and his understanding gets better and better. So by experience, by looking at the various painting work, he knows that how much his one of the labor does, and based on that he give you how much time it will take to paint your home. So this kind of things happen, but because the complexity or the work is small, you need not to do a plotting. But when you talk about your projects, which are of multi-million-dollar projects and several people are there on the projects, it's very difficult to guess. So, or have a gut feel estimates. So you need to go ahead and do some kind of plotting to get much more accurate information. The third type of estimates are called PERT estimates. So you might have seen we have a WBS estimate. So we identified a work package. Then under activity 1, activity 2, activity 3. And then we say it will take 5 days, it will take 7 days, it will take 3 days. Okay, some expert is doing this. We say expert judgment. So there is an expert judgment. We have an expert who is, based on his experience, he is telling this much time, therefore this work package will take about 15 days. Correct. Now, if you ask this estimate, if you give this estimate to 5 people, I can tell you all 5 people will mostly give you different figures, because they are biased with their own experience. Some people have worked in a very low risky project, they are more lenient. Some people work on a very high risk project, they are more stringent on that. They're more less aggressive and more safety, because they know that problems can come on the project, it will take more time. So they are biased with so every expert is biased with his experience or understanding, and therefore every expert give you different figures. To neutralize this expert judgment, we use PERT estimates. So we do not ask people to give us the estimate, we ask people to give us 3 estimates. What is the most likely? He says in normal circumstances it should take 5 days. What is the optimistic scenario? Means if you consider all bad things, and see that none of those bad things are going to occur. Means the best case scenario, how much time it will take. You say in best case scenario, it may take 3 days. Then the pessimistic, you consider that every bad thing is going to happen on this project, on this activity, on this task. All the risk you have thought of may materialize. How much time it will take? You will say, in this case, I may take 10 days. So what do you do in that case? So he, instead of for one activity, he is not giving one estimate of 5 days. He is giving 3 estimate. In the normal circumstances, 5 days. In an optimistic scenario, it is 3 days, or in pessimistic scenario, in 10 days. And then we use this formula to figure out the estimate. So what it will be? It will be like optimistic is 3 plus 4 into 5 plus 10. Right? So it divided by 6. So it will become 33 divided by 6 is equal to 5.5, right? Now, in this, the great part of the part is that we not only get a more suitable, we neutralize some expert bias, but we also give a range. And to give the range, we identify the standard deviation. The standard deviation is P minus O. P minus means 10 minus 3 upon 6. It will be 7 upon 6 is equal to 1.1 something. Right? It means the project will finish between duration plus minus standard deviation. That means 5.5 plus minus 1.1. That means 4.4 to 6.6. So this activity will finish from may finish between 4.4 days to 6.6 days. So we give a range, and this range is important because this range actually neutralizes the bias of the expert. Now, why we have got this variance? Variance is because if there are 3 activities, A1, A2, A3, and we have some estimate 5, 7, 3, and suppose here the standard deviation is 1, here standard deviation is 1.5, here deviation is 0.5. So total duration will be 15, but we cannot add a standard deviation. Therefore, you will get this recording. I will explain you also further. Therefore, it is 1 square 1, 1.5 square is 2 point something, and 0.5 square is 0.25 something, and then we will add. We will add this to 3.75, and then we take an under root of it, making it 3.5, taking it something like 1.2 or something. So let me explain you further because it's completely blank and it is difficult. Total mathematics management people find this mathematics a little difficult. It's normal. So what we are doing here, from an expert, we do not ask 1 estimate, we ask 3 estimate. From an expert, for every activity, we do not ask 1 estimate, we ask 3 estimate. For A1, we do not ask 5D, we ask 3 estimate. So he gives us 3 estimate, 5D, 5 days, 3 days, and 10 days. That means in the normal scenario, this task should complete in 5 days. In a very optimistic scenario, it will finish in 3 days. In a pessimistic scenario, it will finish in 10 days. With this formula, we calculate that how much time it should take, and with calculating the standard deviation, we can check that okay, this activity can finish between duration D1 to D2. In this case, it is 4.4 days to 6.6 days. It will finish in some between this. The chances of finishing it between these two time is important, and this duration is important. This range is important. Got it? I suggest you try this. Try this exercise. Formulas are given above. You cannot add this. You cannot add this. You have to calculate this. This will be square of this. Add this and take a square root of it. You may need to use a calculator. The standard deviation of total is under root of variance. Try and let me know the figures. I give you some time.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I lost in between whatever was. Now I'm able to see everything, so I can get to the archive, whatever the video recording is there on URL, right?
Okay. So you may not, you get the recording maybe a day after, not tomorrow exactly. I will try, but I'm not sure. But you can attempt this exercise. The formulas are given, just need to apply this formula. So optimistic, pessimistic, most likely pessimistic given, use this formula, put this figure, and then a square of this is here. You cannot sum this. This column cannot be summed. So you need to sum this column and then take a square root of it. By attempting this example, maybe things get clear. What is the total one? What about this line, the total line? This is what you're talking about? This is the first one. 36 is first one, right?
Yeah, that's correct. The first one. The first one.
What about the total?
Yeah, I'm just doing it.
Okay. Got something? Match your calculations so far. We do not total this. This is prohibited. Take this, take this, take this, take this, and then add this, and then take the square root of it to get this. Got it? Okay. So it is simple. We have given this to an expert and asked him to give 3 estimates. So we have 4 activities in this project which are in sequence. Okay. So activity A, as per the expert, he says most likely is 35, and an optimistic means everything goes fine, then we will complete this in 30 days, and everything goes bad, then we will complete this in 48 days. Similarly, he says for activity B, activity C, activity D. Now we use this formula O plus 4 into M plus P divided by 6. We get 36.33. So this is the effective duration. 10.5 effective duration of activity B, 46.83 with using this formula, activity C and activity D. Then we identify standard deviation. Standard deviation is something like that. You plot your graph and it goes bell curve like this. We have a mean. So standard deviation is any point from the mean. So this is the standard deviation. In this case, how we figure it out? In this is P minus O, the maximum range, maximum possible minus minimum possible. So optimistic is maximum possible, pessimistic is maximum possible, optimistic is minimum possible. So maximum possible minus minimum possible divided by the 6, the same thing here, 6 points. And we get 3. For this we get 1.75, 1.17. Here we go 3.5, here we get 2.6. Now we cannot add this. So we take a square of this to variance. So square of standard deviation is normally, square of deviation is 39, 1.17 is 1.36, 3.5 is 12.35, so 25 and this. Now variance we can add. So it becomes 29.72 and then took the square root, we got 5.45. Therefore, this figure is 117.6567 plus minus 5.45. Therefore, it is 1112.22 to 123.1. This is the range between which the project will finish. Is this clear?
If I understood correctly,
Yes, Lalit, I couldn't hear you.
Now, if I understood correctly, now estimated duration we are calculating for activity A to D, right? Now what we are doing is we are calculating A, B, C, D, using the formula and adding it, right? Now, same ditto for the standard deviation, right? Using the formula and adding it, right? Now, variance also I understood that this is the square of the SD, the standard variation SD, and we are adding. Now, the range duration, I'm not understanding how we have calculated.
Which duration you are not understanding?
Range duration, that is plus minus SD you're saying, right?
This.
Now, how are we arriving at 33.33 minus 39.33?
36.33 plus minus 3 standard deviation. So duration plus minus standard deviation. Duration, it can go in this side or this side both.
So how do we know whether we have to plus or minus?
Yeah, so if you minus it, it is 33.33. If you plus it, 39.33.
Okay.
So it is, the range is between 33.33 to 39.33.
Okay. So we are just taking a range in this. Okay.
Yeah, we are taking range actually. That is the benefit of PERT estimate, that you get a range and you can tell that okay, your project is expected to finish between this time.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it. Absolutely.
The other.
And now what we are doing is, one minute, can we go back to this? Now what we are doing is range duration, we have calculated for each activity, A, B, C, D, right? Now once
Right.
we calculate it for individual, then we are adding it and getting the total, right?
Yeah, this we are adding. By definition, standard deviation cannot be added. Therefore, we
So how we
take
have arrived at
variance of
5.45?
the standard deviation, which is square of standard deviation.
No, sorry to interrupt. Now you said standard deviation we cannot add, but how have we arrived at 5.45 figure?
That's what I'm saying. Because we cannot add a standard deviation, we calculate variance, which is a square of standard deviation.
Correct.
And then we can add variance.
But how we have arrived at 5.45?
I tell you. So we add this, we can add variance, so
Yeah.
we add the variance.
Correct.
So variance is square of standard deviation. So
Exactly.
standard deviation is under root of variance,
Okay.
square root of variance. So we put the square root of 29.72 to calculate this 5.45.
Okay, got it. So we calculated the total standard deviation by doing the square root of the total variance.
Variance.
At all the activities, right?
Right.
Okay, I got it. So we have to make it sure that we are not adding all the standard deviations as we have done estimated duration, right?
Right. We cannot.
Okay. Yeah, we can.
Now for that, we need to understand the statistics, why we cannot add.
Okay.
Here, I think we just understand this is sufficient.
Okay. Done.
Then the other techniques are group decision technique. I think we have talked about. Another thing is reserve analysis. And reserve analysis is normally that when in terms of time. So if we have like 10 days, we say, okay, let's 10% reserve. So instead of telling customer 10 days, tell 12 days. So 12 days will help us to manage this, the 2 days buffer we get, that is called reserve. We try to prevent it, but in case of some risk materializes, we can use this 2 days. So reserve analysis is about how much buffer we should add into the project to keep the delivery safe on time.
Basically, it's a conventional method which we do. if somebody tells us 8 days, we add 2-3 days and tell the customer so that we are on the safer side. If that
Right.
person is not completing 8 days, 10 days, then we are getting a buffer time.
Correct. So what happens actually in this case, that if you ask your team members to give estimate, they put their buffer. Then they have a team leader who take and who put his own buffer. Then you take him, you put his own buffer. It shouldn't happen that way. That's the trap.
If somebody adds 6 or our buffer, then the project may go up to 6 months more.
Yeah, that's what happens. Many times you lose the bid.
Everybody adds his buffers and the project goes off.
Yeah, so project only remains buffers. There's nothing.
Buffers. Only buffers.
Right.
I agree.
So if this continues, then all the resources in the company will also become buffer.
Completely buffer. Ajay knows we do use buffers, no?
Yeah. So you are also buffers.
See, for me, we have got lots of buffers. We always work on buffers. First, buffers are calculated. But
Right.
I missed not many things. I missed a lot of things. So I was not connecting the dots.
No, I just wanted your, because Ajay, we both sometimes use buffers, so if Vivek says so, it will be a good discussion for discussing buffers right now.
Okay.
I say reserve analysis. So if you have a project, suppose 100 days, so you do not tell customer 100 days, but you say customer 110 days, 10% buffer.
Yeah.
So that in case of any eventuality, you can manage that. Right? So then you get activity duration estimate and project documents updated. That's so basically this is or range like this, and could be probable number. Sometime like you can say complete 10 days, but there is a 10% chances of deviation or something. Then the last steps come in the develop schedule. So developing schedule means all putting together and preparing a overall plan. An overall plan, because schedule touches all part of the project, therefore inputs come from all part of the project, from all segments. At some point of time, many people even confuse that schedule is actually project plan. Project plan is different schedule, but schedule is actually occupying all areas and deciding what will happen when in the project. So there are few actions here which need to be, which requires to be addressed. These are the tools which are used. In fact, the main tool is schedule network analysis, which contains critical path, critical chain, resource optimization. All are part of the schedule network analysis basically. So first is critical path. What is critical path? You know, anybody know about critical path? Anybody has an idea? What is a critical path?
Longest duration in the network diagram.
Yeah.
The longest duration in the network. So, and if there will be any slippages happen, so the entire project in the critical path, the entire project will be in risky mode. I mean, it won't complete within the time.
Yeah. So this is the longest path in the network diagram, and it's the shortest duration the project can complete. The longest path, but it's the shortest duration the project can complete. Any activity on the critical path, if it get delayed, the project will get delayed. So we calculate float on the project, and float is normally called if total float. Total float means float is a time available on an activity by which if an activity can be delayed, it does not delay the project. So if an activity has 2 days of float, it means we can delay this activity by 2 days without impacting the project end date. If an activity has 0 float, it means the activity if delays, it will delay the project. Float means free time by which the activity can be delayed without impacting project end date. So the total float means project end date. Free float means next activity. Free float means next activity, successor. Total float means project end date. And the project float is some buffer which is added at the end of the project. So what is critical path? Critical path is the path which connect all the activities which have 0 float. So the path connecting the activities which have 0 float in the network diagram is called critical path. Normally it is the longest path because there is no float on it, and this is the shortest duration you can complete the project. What is near critical path? Near critical path is the path where the float is low, 1, 2, 3 days kind of thing. That means that path has a tendency to become critical in case of any delay. So if any activity get delayed, it will become critical. Okay. So should I take 5-10 more minutes will be okay? We'll logically complete this. I think it shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Okay. We'll save this time somewhere else. I will compensate this delays.
Oh, that's okay. No problem.
So I just show you how we calculate critical path and what is mean by float and how the whole network analysis of path works actually. Look at this. We have every node is like this. This is the name. This is the duration. This is early start. This is early finish. Late start. Late finish. Okay, but activity can be have an early start or late start. Means it can be start little later also, early also without impacting the project end date. So how it works? We do a forward pass, go from start to end, and then do a backward pass from end to start. When we go start to end, we fill early start, early finish. When we go from end to start, we fill late finish and late start. The float is difference between late finish to early finish. That float is equal to late finish minus early finish or late start minus early start. So let's calculate. From if we are starting from 0 plus 3 finishing on third. E depends upon D. So starting on 3 plus 9, 12. Now let's come over here. Starting 0, finishing on 6. This depend upon this and this. A and D. So we will take the later one. Because B cannot start until both are finished. So B will start on 6, finish it on 13. Now this also depend upon this and this. So the same case here, it will start on 13, 13 and 12, plus 6, 19. Now G depend upon this. So it is 19 plus 7, 26, now 26 plus 7, 33. Similarly here, it depends upon B, it means 13 plus 11, that is 24, right? Now, one activity on AND is finishing on 24, other is 33. So what is the project duration? When all the activity is finished, so 33. So with 33 we do a backward pass, N to the start. So it is 33 minus 7, 26, 26, minus 19. B should be 6 plus 3. No, 7. This is 7. Seven plus 9. Which 9? B depends upon D and A. Right? So we'll take the bigger figure. That is 6. So because B depend upon D and A both, so B cannot start until A also finishes. Therefore 6. The same case here. F depend upon E and B, and we have taken 13, not 12. Okay, so we are going back. 33 minus 7, 26, 26 minus 7, 19, 26, 19 minus 6, 13. Come over here, but here there are two successors, the F and C. So we have to fill this also. So this is 33, ending on 33. So C, if ends on 33, it should be fine, right? It is not delaying the project. So we'll do 33, take 33 and minus 11, 22. Now here it is two things. One is 13 and second is 22. When we are doing a reverse pass, the back pass, we take the smaller figure. When we are going to the forward pass, we are taking the bigger figure. Now when there is a contest in the backward pass, we take the smallest figure. So 13 and 22, so we will take 13. Minus 7, 6, and then say 6 minus 0. Similarly here, it depends upon 13. So it is 13 minus is 4. Then this, there are two successor, 6 and 4. So we'll take 4, the smaller one, and then here it is 1, minus 3, 1. Now if you calculate float, A 6 minus 6, 0, 13 minus 13, 0, D 4 minus 3, 1, 13 minus 12, 1, here it is 0, here it is 0, here it is 0, and here it is 33 minus 24, that is 9. So which one is critical path? Let's connect where the float is 0. So this is your critical path. Now here the float is 1. So this is a near critical path. This is near critical path. And this is a luxurious time. So there is a lot of float available. You can have a luxurious time. But this path is near critical and this is actual critical path. Is that clear? Okay. Okay, so we have a critical chain method. So what we do, I think only critical chain method I have to clarify you. So when we meet tomorrow, we'll do a recap. In the recap, I will explain you critical chain also. I don't want to drag any further. And then we will carry forward this in the same flow on the cost management. Okay. If any questions you have, if you attempt quizzes, you see you need to discuss some question answer, please bring them up in the beginning itself. Okay. So we can stop here for today. We'll continue to. Okay, good night. Thank you very much and see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.